You just said wieners on camera, dude. Welcome back to Goons, the podcast where we say wieners in front of the camera and we feel embarrassed about it.
Fuck, dude. No medical school is going to hire me now.
I know, dude. All medical schools are run by Mel Gibson. He's homophobic. He's racist.
And he hates Jews.
Well, I mean, that's like pretty redeeming quality.
Yeah, actually, he hates Jews. I actually might get into medical school.
Imagine.
Shit, what's up, man? It's been a while.
I know, it's been a while. Like, literally.
2 weeks since we've done a pod together?
More, because the week before I did the one by myself, we didn't do one. So it's been 3 weeks. Yeah. So it's been a while, but yeah, we're both out of a job at the end of this month. That's new.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. You guys will no longer hear us banter about how shitty we hate our jobs and all that cool stuff. So,
until we get other shitty jobs and we complain about those.
I know that we fucking hate more. I fucking hate Meredith.
I wish I went back to GNC.
Fuck no, dude. I would not. Dude, I'd rather eat my own fucking foot than go back to GNC. Honestly, I'd rather have my own. I'd rather pickle my own fucking foot and eat it.
Dude, did you hear that thing about Armie Hammer? Do you know who Armie Hammer is?
No, what's that?
Okay, so did you ever watch the movie The Social Network?
I've seen parts of it, but yeah.
Okay, do you remember the guy who played like the twins? He was like this big bulky dude.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that dude, his name's Armie Hammer, and apparently like recently he's been under like fire or whatever because he like released a video that he filmed himself of like his like toddler son sucking his toes.
Wait, so that's that video?
Yeah, that's the video.
Oh, what the fuck? It's weird. Bro, honestly, if my kid can't suck my toe, I don't want a kid.
I don't want a kid. What the fuck's the point?
Honestly,
that's the whole point of having a kid.
It's like having a little dumb slave.
Oh yeah, I do. Could have been so dark right there. Like,
your turn.
Oh god.
I mean,
my turn. All right. Okay. It's like having a it's like having a black friend.
Jesus Christ, man.
It's like having an Asian friend that you can't blow up in a cave.
Honestly,
that's not that bad.
It's not that bad. It's like having an Asian kid who isn't good at math.
Dude, it's so funny. I think like they've made jokes. I think Louis C.K. has made this joke, but like
Louis C.K. also jerks off in front of girls.
Yeah,
so,
but like
that's probably
it's so. It literally is so funny to me how the word Chinaman is like a slur. It's literally like that was like the laziest slur. They just put China man together like Chinaman.
Holy shit, Guguaro.
The laziest fucking
slur. That's a
slur.
really lazy slur. I've never actually. You know what's funny? Like I've heard it before, but I've never like really like. That's like a slur. That's like a throwaway slur.
I know, right? Like it doesn't sound
damn
like
Chinaman.
Like
my favorite slur. It's not even a fucking slur, but I love the word. You fucking Sherpa.
I know. You say it all the
Sherpa
time.
is so funny to me.
Say it all the time.
You fucking Sherpa or like Mongoloid or Jesuit. Just fucking like old like words that just describe like a very peculiar old bunch. That's like
like a very like cryptic old religion.
Yeah, it's just fucking like you fucking like
you're fucking Fernandian or some shit like Gregorian.
Fucking Phoenician.
People from Phoenix are Phoenicians. Oh my god.
I love it.
Suck that dick.
That's what I would say to him.
Oh fuck. But yeah, but like you were telling me earlier, like, what do you plan on doing after that shit? One person viewed my profile on LinkedIn.
Fuck,
that means I'm getting a job for sure.
Easily.
Whether it is employment or a blowjob, am I right, dog?
Fuck yeah, dude. Honestly, it's your dad. He's like, I can't give you a job, but I can sure do something. He's a fuckboy.
David viewed my profile.
Oh my god. It just sends you like hentai. So I'm leaving GNC August 31st because I hate that job, and I'm gonna actually move back home to Victorville. So this will be my last not my last podcast, as like officially living in Riverside. I'm still gonna come down and like hang out with everybody just because like Victorville's fucking boring. But I mean like moving back home, probably save some money for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I don't know really, and then look for a good job. Eventually come back down to Riverside. I don't want to be up there for a long time just because I feel like I'd get really excuse me. I'd feel
fat.
Not even just that. Low-key, like,
imagine.
I would come back. I'm just fat
fucking fat as shit.
Just like
fatter than me. God,
fuck up. Like I feel like I would come back like super. I feel like when I'm there, I'm like very unmotivated and very like just like bored with everything because like no one there does anything. And it's like my family. It's just like the town itself is just so like just burdened with like disappointment. If that makes any sense. Like there's nothing there. So I was like I don't want to be there too long. I'd feel like oh fuck like.
It's like the disappointing third cousin of California. Like,
basically,
so,
dude.
Like,
it's not. It shouldn't even be in California.
No one even thinks about
like Victorville is the Delaware of California. Like no one knows where it is, but like, as soon as you get there, you're like oh fuck, this is it.
It's Delaware. Fuck.
God damn it.
But yeah, people like lock their doors even though when they're driving to Vegas, even though they're on the freeway, they lock their doors.
Because crackheads run as fast as the cars out there. Bro, I had a dream the other day. I was fighting a crackhead. It was so fucking weird. Like, it was weird because, like, when I was back home, like, I was like, I don't know what the fuck it was, but like, there was a lot of homeless people, like, randomly. There's always been there's always been like a good amount of homeless people in Victorville, but like, I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe like they just got like a fucking like
fresh batch of crack.
I don't fucking know, dude. But like, they were just fucking scrambling, like just fucked up, like fucking roaches, bro. Like just fucking. And I remember like I was just looking at one and like. It's obviously a crackhead. Like, all right, for sure, do your crackhead shit. I don't know, do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, jump off a fucking truck like it's
fine.
And
get hit by a car. It won't phase you
and
at all.
Live. Yeah. And be healthier than before.
Honestly, you probably pop your bones back in place. I don't know. And like, I had a dream that like some crackhead rolled up on me, and my first instinct in my dream was to fucking punch him. And like, I punched him, and it was like this, like my most powerful punch. Like my hardest hitting was just like.
It was just weak as shit.
Weak as fuck. And it was like this, and like in my dream, they started fucking floating.
You started floating?
No, the crackhead. It was weird. And then I woke up. I woke up in a cold sweat.
It's cold sweat. What the fuck? The crackheads are right next to you in bed.
Wake up. I'm in a cardboard box. I'm homeless.
It's 5 years in the future.
Seriously. But yeah, what do you call it? Like, I'm just moving back. I'm gonna come back down to Riverside and this area just because like I like the area. It's more shit out here, and yeah.
It's more to do. It's closer to everything. It's cheap.
Yeah, it's not as cheap as Victorville.
I know. I was gonna say it's not cheaper than Victorville, but it's cheap compared to.
You can buy a house out there with like a receipt, with like a coupon from
just
Sears.
like a box tops.
Yeah, seriously. You got like 20 box tops, you're automatically good for like 2 months.
Yeah,
homeowner.
And like
your credit score jumps to like 840.
You now own like 50 acres.
Yeah.
Like,
of dirt.
Fuck, man.
Yeah,
but I mean, like. Do you have anything after that? Like once you like, let's say you move back, you find like, let's say an apartment over here. Like, do you have plans of looking for a more serious job, or like what are you doing with med school or whatever?
I'm still studying for med. I'm still gonna do med school. I'm gonna be studying for that. I told myself because I wanted to take the MCAT in March, so if I give myself a solid like 4 to 5 months, I'll be completely fine. So I was gonna start like actually like getting like nose to the grindstone studying, probably like November. Mm-hmm. So obviously September and October are gonna be for jobs. And obviously, I'm gonna start scanning stuff on like Khan Academy, like topics and like sciences that I already know that I actually like enjoy. Just
to buff up on it.
Just to buff up on it, just small shit that maybe I forgot, like Krebs cycle or fucking glycolysis or gluconeogenesis or insulin spike and that kind of shit. Like biochemistry or like this is the shit that like I was interested in. Just so like if it comes across in the test, I'm like I know this like the back of my hand kind of shit. And then November hitting, then actually starting like going over shit.
Like the more like obscure things like mitochondria.
Yeah.
Like, no one really knows what that is.
What the fuck? It's a powerhouse. Okay. What the fuck does that do?
What the fuck is that?
A battery?
What fucking Duracell?
That's fucking gay.
That's fucking gay. What is like the fucking Energizer Bunny?
Dude,
what the fuck is a
mitochondria? Rabbit's pink. Pink is gay. Dude,
pink
I'm not
is
gay.
Pussy. Pussy is where dicks go. That's gay.
Dude, pussy's gay. If you fuck girls, you're gay because a dick goes in there, dude. So if you want your dick where other dicks could go, you're fucking gay, dude. Honestly, this is the hetero podcast.
Welcome back to the hetero podcast.
Yeah,
we only talk about hetero
We
things.
don't gay shame, dude. But if you're gay, that's fucking gay. Yeah, but yeah, that's the plan basically. Do that for a little bit, and
so how, I mean, I don't plan on going to medical school, obviously. Like, so how does it exactly work? You take the MCAT. When do
no
you, like,
fucking idea.
Like, when do applications like
Dude,
roll?
I have no fucking idea. When we Holly and I went to the one at SJU for St. George University, and they were actually really informative. Like, I guess you apply. I think their first admission thing is like I think you can. Their admissions go all the way until June, and from there on. I think like secondary admissions are like later on, depending if like they accept you or whatever. And after your secondary admission, which is basically like it's not called secondary admissions, but it's called like secondary something. And that's when they call you in for an interview and you talk to them and blah blah blah. Like, why do you want to go to school? This and that. Oh, whatever. Why do you want to be a doctor? That kind of shit. So I'm assuming like that's what it'd be like. I obviously like I'm gonna apply to every medical school I can. Like I'm gonna apply to St. George. I'm gonna apply to Caribbean schools. I'm gonna apply to fucking California. I'm hoping.
Where is St. George?
Fucking Granadas.
Where is that in California?
No, that's in like the Caribbeans.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck.
That shit's like off like the fucking coast of like Brazil.
Fuck, that's far,
bro.
But like,
I come back speaking Spanish fluent, dark as fuck.
Portuguese. I mean, completely different.
Portuguese.
Darker than flan.
I just fucking love like what's that? Like it's a Brazilian thing. It's like magango or some shit.
I have no idea.
It's just plantains with like seaweed in it or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Oh man. Oh
Yeah.
shit! So I actually was wondering because like people talk about Caribbean medical schools, and do people go there because they're also accredited to like
Most of
work
them are.
in,
So
to practice? In
so
the
they
US?
are like okay. There's only like a couple of them that are accredited. There's a lot that aren't. So like Ross is accredited. St. George is accredited. What is SGU? There's another American University. Something. I think it's ASU, American Science University, something like that. But that's also accredited. All the other ones aren't. So I mean,
So what's like the point of like why do people like set up like universities in the Caribbean like?
easier because no one because when you have a school that's somewhere else outside the country, it's harder for you to get your residency in the state that you're in. So like okay, if you're in California, the only place you can get your residency if you're in a California-based school is somewhere local. Realistically, that's how they set it up. Like for instance, UCR. Once you're done with your school, once you're done with your shit at UCR, like my friend Michelle, she's doing medical school and she's in her third year. So she finished her 2 first years, which is strictly just like studying blah blah blah, all that kind of formality-based shit, relearn sciences, whatever. And then after that, once you go into your third year, you start working in a hospital. She works at Riverside.
Like the hospital?
Yeah,
In, like, downtown?
Riverside County Hospital. Riverside County Hospital, that one right there. The one where I fucked on my back. So she's going to be there, I believe, for like another, no one more year after this one. So, yeah. And then from there on, obviously, I think you can like travel. Or not travel, but like go to other like hospitals and shit. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a fucking doctor. I haven't looked that much into it. But the reason why I like Caribbean schools, like a lot of people are just like, oh, I don't know, is because it's a lot harder for people to like get the place where they want to go, specifically if you're not from there. So like it's really hard. Like if you have fucking like 1,000 people from that school who want to go to California, what's the likability of you actually going to California, assuming you're like top of the class or whatever the fuck, Because everyone wants to go. Who the fuck wants to who wants to do like their fucking the rotations in like Missouri? Nobody, And the thing is like I know you can like travel around it, like you can do residency over here, so whatever. But like honestly, like at like a point, like okay, you do it for 2 years and then what? You're done. Like I honestly like I don't see. I was like a whole like, oh fuck no, blah blah blah. But I mean at the end of the day, it's for your fucking future. Like you gotta just quit being a bitch for 2 years out of your future to fucking do something you want to do. Like I'll do it any day.
So like you said, it was harder to get an actual like residency if you do go to those like schools. So what's like the benefit of going to those schools?
It's cheaper.
It's
It's not cheaper. It's easier to get into.
Easier to get in?
A lot easier to get into. The GPA requirements are lower. They're a lot more hands-on with you just because they have such a fucking demand of like faculty and staff. I think another cool thing about it is that like you're away from everything, because since you're on an island, like
Can't really do much.
You can't do anything realistically. Like you're just kind of there. So I mean, like you're around a school setting all the fucking time. It's not like you're back here if you're like if you're in college or whatever. Like
Once you get off of class, you can do whatever.
you can do what the fuck you want. If you really want to go, if I want to go home, I can drive back home, like for fucking whatever. But I feel like once you're there, like you're so centralized the idea of like strictly staying in like a medical based environment that you kind of start to like believe you start to study a little more. You start to like gravitate towards like certain like people who do certain study habits, and like everyone's doing the same shit. So it's like you're kind of more like intrinsic. It's like you're more connected seriously to studying and like the profession. Whereas like I feel like in college where like yeah, you can do that too, but I feel like it's a lot harder because there's so many other distractions where there's just like you're just there. Like even though Riverside, like for instance, like for my friend Michelle, like yeah, she has to be in Riverside, for her schooling, but if she really wants to, she can go to LA tomorrow.
Right,
She can
it's
go to
like right
fucking
there,
Sandy. It's
yeah.
right there, Whereas like the Caribbean's like, okay, cool. I've seen the beach 1,000 times. It's next to my fucking class. Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go fucking fly
My
fishing?
class is actually on the beach. Like
Yeah. Fun fact: marine biologist. The teacher's a turtle, and he
The turtle with glasses and
He
shit.
hates everybody because a straw killed his kid.
No, but I was actually gonna say like he's actually a straw advocate. Like
He actually loves straws. Fun fact: his turtle wife whore got an abortion with a straw.
Yeah,
Fun
dude.
fact.
Like I don't know. I heard she slept with like this fucking stingray, the same stingray that killed Steve Irwin.
Bro, what a bitch.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly,
what a fucking whore.
dude.
So that's why
These
ever
are-
since then, like he's been a huge advocate of straws.
Yeah,
It's dumb.
crazy, dude.
But yeah, holy shit. Okay.
So yeah, that's essentially obviously.
So
I don't-
like, how long does that take? Like, let's say like you get in and everything. Let's say you take your MCAT in March and then you apply next year. When do you start going there? Would that be like in the fall, or do you have to wait another year? Because I've heard
some schools like okay, it's like for St. George, I know like theirs it starts out you have a fall and a spring, so you need to start. Well, not it's spring, so it's technically spring quarter. Well, not it's winter quarter, so you would either start like fall like August of 2020 or January of 2021.
Okay, so you wouldn't start in 20. Oh, obviously 2020. Never mind.
Yeah, that's like this following year after. But that's the thing. It's just like a lot of medical schools, like, cause like that's the thing. Like they graduate so quickly over there, cause it's only like it's technically 2 years, but realistically, like you're only in school for like a year and 7 months, just because of like all the shit you're fucking doing, the amount of time that you're off. Like they give you crazy amount of breaks and shit. Like you're off for like almost 4 months, and you have like winter break and spring break, that kind of shit. It's like that's cool and whatever, but like they're very I don't know. They're very. I feel like they're very like they're cool. Like we went there, and I was actually really surprised because I was like, I didn't have the mindset of actually wanting to go to the Caribbean. Trust me, I don't. I don't want to go to the Caribbean at all. I don't. It's not that I don't find it worth it. One, I think it's too much money, and two, I think it's too far away from home for me personally. Not because like I've lived on my own for fucking 5 years. Like, and obviously with help of my family at times, and for financial aid from government assistance from like schooling. But I mean, like to really know like I have to be on this island for fucking 2 years would suck. So like yeah, but. Assuming I get in, do that, and then do it for 2 years and come back, and then I do my residency, depending where I'm at. So it can be anywhere from like California to fucking Brooklyn to Florida, wherever.
Montana.
Yeah.
Working on cows.
Fucking somewhere weird as shit. Like
not even in the U.S.
No.
Fucking Toronto.
Yeah,
fucking Saskatchewan.
They do it like other places, but like majority of people like alone, like from the healthcare system, like 1/3 of like doctors are from St. George specifically.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's very high. Like, I was like surprised. I was like, God damn, like that's really fucking high.
Let's say like if you do come back and you can't find anything here, what would you like your next best like option? Like what other place?
Apply a different state, I guess, or just like move areas because there's doctors are going to are needed everywhere. It's just like, depending on the county where you are, they pay you more. Like if you're a doctor, if you're a neural brain surgeon, you're not going to get paid the same amount if you were in Beverly Hills compared to Victorville. Like like you have here's the thing. I feel with like doctors specifically or people who are like health scientists or whatever, that's what I like to call them. There's just people who specialize in shit to be like more tranquil to appeal to like a certain mass of people who have money. It's like the same motherfuckers who like take 30-minute showers because like it like cleans out the soul. Like okay, sure, you're just a dickhead. You want to waste water and use temperature to justify the means for sure. But anyway, obviously that's the kind of thing, so if like you work in LA or you obviously get paid more money, and then you can obviously build a reputation off of like, oh yeah, he does this and that and blah blah, and get your own business. But like for what I want to do, like I want to open up businesses. Like I want to become a doctor, save some money from that. Obviously, I want to open some practices around. I want to do free clinics too. I want to do like traveling doctor. I want to do a couple things for like medicine specifically, but I don't know, like I'm still young, I'm only 23, so like I have time to do a lot, but right now it's like step by step. Like I was stressing the fuck out about it for like a long time, and like when you stress over something so much where like you just become like unproductive.
No, yeah, because like you can't find like
you can't think of it. You can't find a way to fix this. You're just like I don't know what to do. So that's why I was like at a point in time I was like I just don't know what the fuck to do. So like I kind of just got over that. I was like, dude, like it's gonna happen. I had to take my time. I obviously should have studied better in undergrad, but fuck it, it is what it is. So retake some classes, elevate, fuck it, and then just do that. So I'm not worried about it. It's gonna take some time, but I'll be there.
Yeah, the thing is like always like I think the good mindset, especially with like school and stuff, like always keep moving forward. Yeah. Like I feel like you can probably be like upset that you didn't do as well like undergrad, but I feel like it doesn't matter. Like it already happened. Like
you can't change it. Like
you can't like do anything about it.
There's no point of crying about it if that's gonna change.
I know. Like if you can't change it, like I guess that it sucks. You can't do what you really wanted to do, but I feel like you still have a degree. You still have so many more opportunities than like other people do. And
that's the thing. That's why I was like kind of hyped if I can get this job, the interview for Kaiser, because like that looks good when you do apply for like medical school. Like he worked in a fucking lab for fucking X amount of time, whether it be a year or a couple months, whatever. It shows like your interest is in that field. It'd be a weird left turn if like I did a bio degree and then wanted to go to and then I started
construction.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like that's really weird, but for sure.
Oh fuck, you're building pools? What the fuck?
Yeah. So like that's the whole thing. But like what? It is what it is. Right now it's just one step at a time. I just don't want to go back to Victorville, but it is what it is. My mom is so hyped, bro. My mom is happy. Fuck yeah, dude. My mom is so happy. She's been trying to convince me since like my freshman year. I remember the day I told her, I remember my sophomore year I told her I wasn't coming back because I would get like a fuckload of financial aid, right? But I have to be at school. I couldn't like come back. I told her that, dude. I was like, I can't come back. Like I told her I don't want to. Cause I didn't. And I swear to God, I remember she just started fucking bawling, dude. And I was like, that shit broke my heart. Like,
no, I get that. Like, that's what my mom was too. And like, that was just for like the first year. And like, it wasn't until we like had like a talk, like both my parents, like, yo, like, you can't like have so much control of me anymore. I didn't want to sound like douchey and stuff. And you
can't fucking control me, cunt. And cunt father.
And like, because like back then, like it was literally like I still had like a curfew and shit. Like I would have to like tell them every day like where I am, who I'm with, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like my second year, once like I moved in with fucking Andrew and stuff, where like they kind of like cooled off. They understood that I wasn't doing anything wrong. Like I literally was just at school. The fact that like I didn't really have the time to like call them every fucking 2 hours, like that didn't mean like I was doing like sus shit. And like they finally got that. So like I feel like ever since then I've become like more independent. Like obviously they do help with like school and stuff.
Yeah, of course. Like little medial expenses you have here or there, or whatever, for sure.
But like I'm never like I'm not saying like because they've been super supportive. Like they've been really helpful. But like now like I wouldn't want to go back. I know like I understand. It's like I feel like I already made the step of moving out. Like I feel like if I go back, like it's just like a step backwards. Like
that's the thing, and for me, like it was a big thing for me, like moving out, because like I don't like being home. I just don't. It's not even just like boring. It's just like it's just nothing there. For my brothers and stuff, like they would always be home and doing shit. But it's just like it wasn't for me. Like I wanted to move out when I was 18 and never come back. And not necessarily like fuck you tomorrow, like I'll bad to my parents. It's more like an homage, like thank you for everything. But I'm old enough now to fucking live my life and do whatever. And if I have questions or concerns, I'll definitely hit you guys up. It's just part of growing up. And I feel like going back for me, like my goal is to be there for like a month, minimum a month, max a month and a half, maybe 2. And that's just because like I don't want to get reliant on the idea of like, oh, I'm saving money now, I can just stay home, because that's the point. It's like, yeah, okay, sure, you can do that for X amount of time, but like when is it enough? Because I have friends whose fucking like siblings are like 30 or who are fucking like 29, and they're just still there and they're still working the same shitty job, still trying to get a degree that they can't get. I have a degree, and like I'm not trying to flex or anything about that, but it's just like I want to do stuff for myself. I don't want to have a handout. I don't want to fucking I feel like I've gone to that point where like I've pushed myself to the point where like I have to be financially responsible with what I have to do, and I want to live the life that I want to live. So I like living by myself. Like I enjoy like coming home and it's just quiet. I enjoy the peace and quiet. I enjoy I enjoy going to bed with the fucking AC on high and it's cold as fuck. Like I enjoy the subtlety within like having your own place, because it's you. It's a representation of who you are. Yeah, and I'm very neat with my shit. Like I'm not saying I'm a clean freak. Like I'm not gonna be like there's a fucking stay on the floor. I'm a fucking like whatever. Obviously I'll get it out, but like I'm not gonna go fucking crazy about it. Like. It's a representation of you, and I think if I go back home, I'm gonna start to revert back into the kid that I was, and I don't want that.
No, exactly. Like that's another thing. Like here, I feel like I found like who I am. Like or like obviously like how can I organize myself where it works for me? Like what can I do like things on my own? And obviously like if I go back home, like there's also like the pressure of like. Like if I'm going out, like I know my parents. I don't know how it is for you, but like my parents, like where the fuck are you going? Like when are you gonna be back? Like here, like, I'm not saying like I'm out late here, but like even then, like I don't have like that pressure of like I have to go back home.
I have to let them know, kind of shit.
Like that's just so like I feel like it's past like that was like when we were in high school.
Like I'm 22, like kind of
shit. Like that was when we were in high school. Like that's I get it. You're fucking young, but I feel like I've had so much experiences up until then, so I pretty much know. To a really good extent, like what's right and wrong. I'm not gonna do something stupid, and like it's still like I don't want to have that damn pressure of like saying like I'm gonna go here with this person and I'll be back whenever. Like like I don't want that. It's like so. Hopefully, I'm doing one more year here for masters as like I've said for like forever, and hopefully like after that like I'll hopefully land this job that this guy offered me. So hopefully because he sent my resume to like the company. I sent him my like work permit stuff that he needed, and so everything should be fine. Hopefully I get an interview, because like once I start making like decent amount of money there, like I would be a little bit more independent. Like maybe like you said, like once I'm done like with this year, I can get my own apartment. Because I like that's like the next step. Like obviously moving out, but then like moving out to your own, like that's like I feel like once you're there, like that's like oh shit, like it's like real.
It's your shit, And that's the thing. It's just like for me, like I wouldn't mind living with like somebody else, like one other person, but I can't deal with like 3. Because like I said, like I've had a lot of problems in the past, like roommates and shit, like just medial bullshit, and like I'm kind of over it. So like, it's just you get tired of like the straight. Like, you just get tired of everything. So you're just like, what? It's either you move with a person like you genuinely know who's like fine with you, like in everything that you do. And that's it, or you move by yourself. So like honestly, like the only people I would probably move in with, like, because I know like there would never be any tension, would probably be like me and PJ, like one of my best friend from back home, him and Michael, And like that's just because like we've known each other all for so long. We're all pretty much the same person. Like we're never home. We all have work. Like, you know, like there's no bad blood between any of us. You know, and not even saying like here with people. It's just like, I don't know. Like I feel like I've known them for so fucking long. Like I just know there wouldn't be a problem. Like our fucking families know each other, kind of shit. You know.
Yeah. No, I feel like when you move in with people that either you don't know or you barely know, like it could go either way.
Yeah, it
Like,
could be
like,
amazing or it could be
it'd
fucking
be awful. You know,
And-
like it can go either way. Like no matter who you are, like or who they are,
Yeah.
it can go either way. And that's like, so I understand that. Like once if you've known them for so long, it makes sense that
Yeah, I've
you
known
know
since I
I
was
know
like
for a
8,
fact like there's not gonna be any like beef or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like, dude, that's like what I'm looking forward to the most. Like coming home with like, there's no tension, like there's nothing. I'm just like going home. I get to like, I don't know, watch a movie or whatever.
If
or
you want, you can just.
I can literally walk around jerking off and like.
That's it.
Like,
Jerk off with a glass of milk in your hand, or whatever the fuck you can sit in your click and you can sit like this with your cock out, like
cock
right
out
there.
the TV blaring,
Yeah.
porn on it, like I don't
Whatever. Like it doesn't matter because it's your house. You can come all over your couch, and when people come over, just flip the cushions out. You know,
Yeah.
put them inside, just put them inside, upside down, chilling.
Oh fuck, but yeah, shit.
I don't know, dude.
But I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like damn, like we graduated and then like now like oh fuck.
What do we do?
Yeah,
What's
like what
next?
the fuck.
Well, that's how I fucking feel because I mean, you have your thing next year, so you're fine.
I know, I get that, but like even then, like I'm already thinking about like after that.
What? Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
because like you know, once you start your first year, like oh, after my first year, then goes my second year, and so on forth.
Dude,
And like
shit was
once
so
I started my fourth year, I knew like oh, after I graduate, I'm still gonna have the master's thing. But like after this master's thing, I'm
What's
at that
next?
point like I don't know what I'm gonna do after. And like I feel like I got so accustomed to knowing what comes next. Like now it's
That's
just
the
getting,
scariest part, dude. Literally, like
Yeah.
after I graduate, because like you know, obviously I was done in March. Like that was the scariest thing for me because I was just like, I don't know what the fuck's happening next. I don't know if like I should do a master's degree. I don't know if I should try to do like a STEM program. I don't know what the fuck to do. You know, so like it's fucking daunting. It's incredibly daunting because you just don't know. Unless you have something completely lined up for you, whether it's like a graduate school or whatever the fuck, you know, or a job or some form of like, you know, currency, whatever the fuck it is. It's incredibly scary because you're just like, I feel like once you're in that position, you're just like, I did all this shit. Like, I did all this stuff to look professional, but I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
And
Like
it's just
seriously,
like, you're just like,
I feel like coming out like I graduated chemical engineer, but I feel like going into a company. I know they have to train me, but I feel I'm not gonna have like any idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because like yeah, I worked in a lab. I've had jobs like in that field or whatever, but it's still like going into a next level like industry level company. Like I feel like what am I gonna do? And it's like I mean like I know I'm gonna be able to make it. I'm like I know you and I both we're capable of it, but it's
Yeah.
still like scary going in.
it's like just like, it's like the worst possibly gonna happen. Like your first day in a job, you're just like, I don't know. Let's say you work at like a chemical plant. First day in the job, like, oh, you're the new guy? All right, cool. Go in that room. Go clean up all the radium. Like, the fucking
fucking
radium
radium.
fuck on the floor. Yes, John died. Yeah, he thought it was been cool if he broke it over his head and drank it, but he died.
He died. Yeah, his body's actually in there.
Yeah, he's actually melted. He melted. So
You gotta clean that up.
you know, but be sure you take out the isotopes because they have a really strong half life. You know, because if you're gonna do that, you want to use nuclear energy, like just whatever the fuck.
Some
Yeah.
stupid.
Some
Or
dumb
like,
shit.
oh yeah, oh your first day, great. I need you to take over like the whole nuclear power plant. I need to go take
I
a
got
shit.
I gotta take a shit. So fucking some reason like he takes a shit, just a button's beeping, you press it, and everything explodes. Exploding button. Not even that you fucking press it, it's a fucking hit on your mom.
It's just
Assassinate
it's
Miss
stupid as-
Marcos's mom.
Yeah, fuck, it's the stupidest shit.
Just something completely fucking left field. It's just like there's a guy sending you a video of him like stabbing your dog. Don't press
Fuck
it.
you, fuck
Don't
you.
press any other buttons. I mean it.
The
Ross
CEO
comes
of the
back.
company, like,
I know. The guy's just in the bathroom. He's just beating the fuck out of your dog. Him taking a shit.
It's like a guy who went to the bathroom.
What do you? I don't know if you saw my thing, but like my friend Michael tagged me on something. He was just like, it was like between alphas and betas. He's like alpha men have sex with other men to assert their dominance. Betas have sex with women because they're too weak to assert themselves to a dominant male. He messaged me that, and I was like, bro, you're so alpha. He's like, yeah, only with you.
I'm only alpha with you.
Fucking idiot.
Oh, dude,
That's what I was just thinking. Is like, why? Maybe that's why Alvin's so alpha, dude.
Because he's gay. He likes dick.
He just likes dick.
Fuck.
Which is cool. That's your thing, but like he just thinks this whole time like that's what gave him like this whole time he just goes into like prison rape culture where he thinks like he has to like fuck a dude on the street, so
Just-
he's
yeah.
so he's the most dominant one in the mall.
Did you see he started a fucking vlog?
Dude, I saw that. It was so random.
It was
Not
like, okay.
the first like 5 seconds of like it's just him in a desert. Like I'm sure you're not. I swear you're not. It looked like one of those like you know like those old like fucking like Boys to Men videos where they're all in the
Yeah.
desert wearing white shirts. Like I felt like the camera's gonna be like doing this shit,
Oh yeah.
and it was gonna be like an echo. Like, who am I?
Like in a.
What is it? Like, fucking. Who? What are we here for? Kind of shit.
Dude, the best part is that he bought a fisheye lens for his phone, so it looks like a '90s music video.
I love that.
Dude, he bought because I don't know if you see
Yeah,
the
I've
commercials,
seen-
like they have like little
Yeah, it's like a
lenses that
fucking-
you adapt to like your phone.
Yeah.
And he bought a fisheye lens, so it looks all fucking warped.
Yeah.
And like he's just like filming himself like that. I'm like, bro, this looks like a '90s music video.
It's so weird.
So like I want him to go to like that fucking desert he goes to. It's like a burnt field.
Yeah, the Sycamore Canyon.
Like, and I don't know why he loves hiking that. Like,
It's kind of weird. Like I don't know. Like I mean, that place was cool as fuck before it got burned down. I mean, I still go there all the time with my dog because like she loves that park. But I mean, like, I don't know. It's something really eerie about the fact knowing that it's completely fucking burnt.
yeah,
Like literally, dude. Like on the side, like coming up towards like Canyon Crest, it's all like
it's
all.
just black.
Not even just that. All the fences burnt. All the
Yeah,
they
melted.
fucking melted.
Yeah, first of all, I thought those were wood.
Same.
And they're plastic apparently. You're like, what the fuck?
I guess we're in fucking like that, dude.
Fucking Westworld. What the
Dude, like
fuck?
that kind of shit happens, and like that kind of heat melting, like that kind of shit, like melting the fences. That's like Arizona every day. Like
Dude, I know you. I've seen fucking like images or whatever of like their street signs melting or whatever.
the fucking trash cans and shit.
I was like, what
How-
the fuck? The
how-
bumpers like on
How
cars.
unbearable is that?
How do you walk outside? How do you walk your dog?
You can't.
Like that's awful.
You have to freeze their feet the night before.
Blocks of ice.
Blocks of ice. Anymore, you just have to like just freeze their whole ice and just roll it down the street. You know.
Fucking bowling.
It was fucked up the other day. We got me and Tyler went to get Starbucks because we were bored, and then like it's before I had to go to work, and then we went, and there was this lady with her dog, and the dog was like fucking like on the street. I was like, you pick up your dog. Like, I felt so bad for because like that's something you don't really think about. Like, oh, dogs have feet.
Dogs,
Like,
and it's bare. Like they're not like
they're not
just
wearing
bare
fucking
feet.
socks. They're not wearing fucking finger
sandals. Like
fucking toe shoes.
oh
Like,
fuck,
they're dogs.
So ugly.
Where I felt so bad. I was like, fuck. I'm sorry. Like.
I know, but yeah. So we have reached our time, but on next week's podcast, I will talk about how many times we have had sex with each other's dogs.
Yeah.
So tune in next week for that spicy little episode. Thanks for joining me again.
Of course.
All right, peace out. We'll catch you next week.
See you guys. Bye bye.